In the world of AI, every so often, a new technology just explodes onto the scene and completely changes the game. And right now, that technology is OpenClaw. It's this incredible, revolutionary force, but its super fast rise has also kicked open the door to a new, kind of wild frontier of risk. So yeah, let's dive into this and see what happens when that explosive growth collides with enterprise security.
Okay, so if you want to get a sense of just how massive OpenClaw is, this one number says it all. Over 234,000 stars on GitHub. I mean, that's not just popular, it's an absolute phenomenon. It's actually the fastest growing open source AI project in history.
So what's fueling all this growth? Well, it's a massive, thriving community. We're talking more than 10,700 skills built by the community. That right there is the power of an open ecosystem, a whole universe of tools and extensions built by developers for other developers. Now here's the real kicker. All of this, the stars, the skills, this huge user base, it all happened in just 3 months. 3. That's an entire ecosystem built at a speed that the tech world has, frankly, almost never seen before.
So this first section is all about that promise. Why did OpenClaw catch fire so incredibly quickly? Well, it's because it represents a totally different, much more open way of building things with AI.
And this slide really breaks down the strategic choice that developers are making. So on the left, you've got the OpenClaw model. You can use any AI model you want, you can run it locally on your own machine, and you can go from an idea to a working prototype in just hours. But then on the right, you see the old way, the closed approach. You're locked into one vendor, totally dependent on their cloud, and stuck in these slow, painful procurement cycles. For any developer who needs to move fast, the choice is pretty obvious, right?
And here's the turn. This is really the central question for us today. That incredible speed we were just talking about, it comes with a hidden cost. So what happens when the guardrails just can't keep up with the rocket ship?
Which brings us right into our second section, the open source dilemma. Because OpenClaw's lightning-fast adoption has this hidden cost, and it's created a massive, kinda unforeseen security crisis that we really need to unpack.
This is pretty staggering. In that gold rush to build this huge library of skills, security just got left in the dust. Scans of CloudHub, which is the main place you get these skills, found that roughly 1 in 5 packages were straight up malicious. Think about that. That means for every 5 tools a developer downloads, one of them could be actively trying to cause harm.
And this quote, wow, it just captures the real-world threat perfectly. The danger isn't always from the big official projects. No, it's from that grassroots adoption that's happening completely under the radar. It's that one developer who just wanted to try a cool new tool and, without knowing it, opened a backdoor into your company's entire network.
And yep, this has a name, Shadow AI. It's basically the modern version of Shadow IT. You've got employees installing agents like OpenClaw, connecting them to really sensitive data in places like Slack or other corporate apps, all without the security team even knowing these tools exist.
And just to be clear, this is not a what-if scenario. Security researchers have confirmed these attacks happening out in the wild. We've seen skills specifically designed to steal data, third-party skills that are vulnerable to prompt injection, and even a crazy vulnerability called Clawjacked that lets a malicious website hijack a user's local OpenClaw agent. The attack surface here is just huge, and it comes from all different angles.
The OWASP Top 10 for AI now includes a totally new kind of threat called excessive agency. This is fascinating. It's when an agent has perfectly valid permissions, let's say it's allowed to read a file, but it uses those permissions to do something the user never ever intended, like summarizing that file and then sending it to some random person. So it's not actually breaking the rules of its access, but it's completely breaking the user's intent. It's sneaky.
Okay, so the problem is clear, it's widespread, and it is definitely dangerous. But this doesn't mean we just abandon open ecosystems altogether. No, instead, it defines the solution that we have to build. So let's jump into our third section here and look at how we can actually tame this wild frontier.
To make these agents safe enough for a business, you really need a governance layer that's built on 4 key controls. First, you've got to run agents with the absolute minimum permissions they need, and nothing more. Second, you have to log everything they do. Third, you need a human to approve critical actions. And fourth, you have to enforce security policies across every single plugin or skill.
And you can see the gap so clearly right here. Native OpenCloud, just straight out of the box, it's missing most of these critical enterprise features. But when you wrap it in a dedicated governance layer, like the solution from RunLayer, for example, you fill all those gaps. You get real-time blocking, you get full audit logs, and you get detection of that shadow AI stuff we were just talking about.
So a winning model starts to emerge. It's not about choosing between speed and safety, it's about combining them. You leverage that incredible velocity you get from an open source community, but you wrap it in a hardened enterprise layer that gives you the security, the control, and the auditability that businesses absolutely require.
And that really brings us to the ultimate takeaway here. The future of AI platforms, it's not really about whether they're open or closed. It's about something way more fundamental.
I mean, just look at this disconnect. It's wild. A huge 75% of enterprise leaders say security is their #1 requirement for deploying AI agents. And yet, fewer than 40% of organizations are actually doing regular security testing on them. So basically, everyone knows there's a problem, but most companies aren't really acting on it yet.
And the consequences of this gap? They're pretty severe. Only about a fifth of companies have what you'd call mature AI governance. Nearly half of cybersecurity professionals now see agentic AI as the #1 threat vector they're worried about. And Gartner predicts that over 40% of these agentic AI projects are going to be canceled by 2027, most likely because of these security and governance failures.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The platform that wins this race won't be the one with the most GitHub stars or the most skills. It's going to be the one that successfully integrates enterprise-grade controls without killing the speed and innovation that made it so powerful in the first place.
So as we wrap this up, the final question isn't just for developers or big companies. It's really for anyone looking to use this amazing technology. It's pretty clear the race is on. The only question is, are you building on a platform that's governed and secure? Or are you just racing ahead into that wild, ungoverned frontier?